There is a follow-up question that I would like to put to you. I mean, you started talking about it, but maybe a little more now. How do you see what is often referred to as the Kashmir question being reshaped in light of the latest confrontation between India and Pakistan?
So I think that was the next question. I actually prepared remarks because I know we are on strict timeline. So
yeah. So absolutely, yeah. Please go for it.
That's what I was asking about. Just
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, okay.
No, it's totally fine. I'm just gonna bring my document back. So I think in this moment, I just kind of like when I was thinking about this question, I thought about that there is this growing danger of bypassing Kashmiris in this whole dispute. So as we kind of think about Kashmir, it's roughly half the size of California, and it's carved up between these three nuclear powers, India, Pakistan, and China, each controlling different parts. And now the world has woken up to this brinkmanship that has always been part and parcel of the relationship between India and Pakistan, as well as China, despite numerous peace treaties and ceasefire policies. So Kashmir straddles the hot center of the relationship between these countries. But Kashmiris themselves, they've been facing this war in all forms, conventional, non-conventional, whatever you might want to call it, since 1947. And they have shown their political will in different forms, armed and non-armed as well. So we must understand Kashmir as one of the symptoms of neo-colonial crisis that the world is facing today, born of nation-state framework imposed by colonial exit strategies, the classic colonial exit strategies, one that flattened the region's deeply rooted and interlaced cultural, spiritual, and political identities into the binary of nationalism. The Pahalgam attack signals the continued securitization of Kashmir and the deep entrenchment of state narratives that sees the region primarily through the lens of control and threat management. Politically, it reflects how Kashmiris remain suspended in this state of exception, where civilian life is overshadowed by militarized governance, and every violent event is used to justify further suppression rather than to interrogate the unresolved political status of the region. There is a real danger that the renewed attention to Kashmir prompted by the latest India-Pakistan confrontation will be reshaped through the familiar contours of the global security paradigm, where Kashmir becomes a flashpoint of nuclear anxiety rather than a site of indigenous struggle. In this framing, Kashmir is not seen through the lens of justice, self-determination, or decolonization or demilitarization, but rather a risk that is to be managed by global powers. Such a reframing ultimately serves the interests of these actors, the nation-state actors, while further marginalizing Kashmiri themselves. As the international gaze intensifies, maybe in the future, but we don't know where that will go, repression on the ground is already deepening and taking different forms. When this happened, more than 2,000 Kashmiris were already detained, and it's also right now in actively kind of imposing on people's lives, and many people have already been killed. It's the Kashmiris who do the dying. So as the international gaze intensifies, repression on ground is deepening precisely to prevent Kashmiri dissent from entering or disrupting this securitized narrative. And they're already silenced by a rigorous set of laws that are around them, like the bars in a bird cage. The irony is that global visibility may lead not to solidarity with Kashmiris, but to their erasure, where they're spoken about but never heard. This is the ongoing psychic violence of the border that I kind of like call as a psychic border. That's what Kashmir ends up being treated as, not only marking territorial limits, but also the edges of permissible thought, memory, and speech. The imperative in Kashmir is not merely one of political resolution, but of decolonization and demilitarization, and rigorous dismantling of settler infrastructures and imperial modes of governance. Only through such disarmament, both material and epistemic, can Kashmiris begin to collectively imagine futures that are not foreclosed by violence of capitalist nation states, nor by ecocidal modernity, which is what the decolonial indigenous scholars from Palestine to Turtle Island and all other wounded places in the world teach us. Thank you.